Modern automatic transmissions rely on precise hydraulic control to perform smooth and accurate gear changes. At the center of that control system is the transmission shift solenoid, an electronically controlled valve responsible for regulating hydraulic pressure inside the valve body. When a shift solenoid begins to fail, it can cause harsh shifting, delayed engagement, incorrect gear changes, or even a transmission stuck in one gear. However, diagnosing a bad shift solenoid requires more than reacting to symptoms alone. In this guide, we will go through a structured diagnostic process used in professional repair environments to determine whether the shift solenoid is truly faulty or if the issue originates elsewhere in the transmission system. This is a step-by-step technical verification process. No assumptions, no unnecessary parts replacement, only systematic diagnosis. Number 1. Scan for trouble codes. Before you touch anything or assume the solenoid is bad, ask the transmission what it already knows. Modern transmissions don't fail saintly, they monitor themselves. That's why the first real diagnostic step is to plug in a scan tool and check for transmission-related trouble codes. We're not just looking for a generic check engine light, we're specifically looking for codes in the P0750 through P0770 range, because those are directly tied to shift solenoid circuits. If one of those codes appears, it's not random. It means the transmission control module has detected something abnormal within that solenoid circuit or performance. But here's the critical distinction. A stored code does not automatically mean the solenoid is bad. It simply means the system detected a fault. The solenoid may not have responded fast enough. The circuit voltage may have been out of range, or the commanded gear change didn't match the actual transmission response. The code gives you direction, not confirmation. This is where many misdiagnoses happen. Someone sees a code like P0755, replaces the solenoid immediately, and skips the investigation. Instead, go deeper. Check the freeze frame data. Look at transmission temperature, engine load, vehicle speed, and the gear commanded at the moment the fault was stored. Understanding the conditions under which the code was triggered is what separates guessing from diagnosing. If you consistently see P0750 to P0770 related faults, now you have electronic evidence pointing toward the shift solenoid circuit. And once you have that evidence, you're ready to move to the next layer of verification. Number 2. Check transmission fluid. Once you have electronic evidence, the next step is to verify the hydraulic foundation of the system. A shift solenoid does not create pressure, it controls pressure. So before blaming the solenoid, you need to make sure the fluid it's regulating is actually in proper condition. Start with the basics. Check the transmission fluid level. If it's low, hydraulic pressure can become unstable. That instability can cause delayed shifts, harsh engagement, or even gear hesitation, symptoms that can easily be mistaken for a faulty solenoid. Next, evaluate the condition of the fluid itself. Healthy transmission fluid should be clean and within its normal color range, depending on the manufacturer. If the fluid is dark, smells burnt, or appears contaminated, that tells a different story. Burnt fluid often indicates excessive heat or internal clutch wear, problems that no solenoid replacement will fix. Fluid condition matters because contaminated or degraded fluid can restrict valve body movement, affect pressure response, and create erratic shifting behavior. In those cases, the solenoid may simply be reacting to poor hydraulic conditions rather than causing the problem. This step is critical because it eliminates one of the most common sources of misdiagnosis. If the fluid level and condition are correct, and no signs of internal contamination are present, you can move forward with greater confidence that the issue may truly lie within the control system, not the transmission's internal mechanical components. Number 3. Monitor live data. If your goal is to diagnose a bad transmission shift solenoid, this is where the diagnosis becomes precise. After checking for codes and verifying fluid condition, the next step is to determine whether the solenoid is actually responding the way it should. Using an advanced scan tool, monitor the gear command from the transmission control module while the vehicle is shifting. Every time a shift is requested, the module sends a command to a specific solenoid to regulate hydraulic pressure for that gear change. Here's the key question. When the shift is commanded, does the transmission respond correctly? If the module commands a gear change and the gear ratio does not change as expected, that indicates the hydraulic application did not occur properly. Since the shift solenoid controls that pressure routing, a failed or sticking solenoid becomes a primary suspect. On the other hand, if the commanded gear and the actual gear ratio match consistently, the solenoid is at least responding electrically. In that case, the issue may not be the solenoid itself, but internal clutch wear or another hydraulic limitation. This step is critical because it tells you whether the solenoid is failing to execute its command, or whether the problem lies deeper inside the transmission. If live data shows repeated mismatches between commanded shifts and actual response, especially alongside P0750 to P0770 related codes, you now have strong functional evidence pointing toward a faulty shift solenoid. At this point, you're not diagnosing based on feel, you're diagnosing based on response. Number 4. Perform a resistance test. If you've reached this step, you're no longer suspecting. You're verifying. After checking codes, fluid condition, and live data response, the next step in diagnosing a bad shift solenoid is confirming its electrical integrity through a resistance test. Start by safely disconnecting the solenoid connector. Make sure the ignition is off and the transmission harness is properly isolated before testing. Using a digital multimeter set to ohms, measure the resistance across the solenoid terminals. What you are testing here is the condition of the internal coil, the component that converts electrical command into hydraulic action. A healthy shift solenoid commonly measures between 5 and 30 ohms, but this range can vary depending on the manufacturer and design. Always compare your reading with the official service specification for that specific transmission model. Also keep in mind, resistance can vary slightly with temperature. For the most accurate reading, testing at room temperature is ideal whenever possible. Now here's what matters. If your multimeter reads 0 ohms, that indicates an internal short circuit. If it reads infinite resistance, or OL, that indicates an open circuit. In either case, the internal coil has electrically failed. That is direct, measurable evidence of a defective solenoid. This is no longer based on symptoms. This is no longer based on behavior. This is physical electrical data. However, remember this: a solenoid that tests within resistance specification still requires proper voltage supply and a correct control signal from the module to operate correctly. That's why wiring integrity, connector condition, and control circuit verification are equally important. A damaged harness, corroded terminals, or even a control module fault can sometimes produce misleading results if not properly inspected. Professional diagnosis is about confirmation from multiple angles. When resistance is clearly outside specification and previous diagnostic steps support the same direction, you now have strong technical evidence pointing toward a faulty shift solenoid, not based on assumption, not based on guesswork, but based on verified electrical measurement, supported by systematic testing. Diagnosing a bad shift solenoid isn't about replacing parts. It's about following evidence. First, you let the system speak through trouble codes. Then, you verify the hydraulic foundation. After that, you confirm real-time response through live data. And finally, you validate the solenoid electrically. When you approach it this way, you're not just fixing transmissions, you're building diagnostic discipline. And that's what separates a parts replacer from a true technician. Now, if you want a complete step-by-step guide on how to properly bench test a transmission solenoid, including activation testing, power supply simulation, and correct measurement techniques, let me know in the comments below. I'm currently preparing a full, in-depth video specifically focused on the correct and professional way to test transmission solenoids from start to finish. If you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified as soon as it's released. Because accurate diagnosis isn't optional, it's essential. I'll see you in the next video.